still look good. I could see it.
I was like, trying to back up a little bit so you can tell I'm actually wearing a shirt. Okay. All right. That was probably live too. Hi guys. Nice to reintroduce ourselves today. So we just got done with one. We're trying to chunk these up into smaller tidbits so that it's not all like you don't have to sit there and watch a full hour like I edited the other day. You can kind of take these in smaller bits, but we are going to pick up where we left off on the previous live where we were discussing parasocial relationships because we were just kind of starting to touch in on them. And there is a lot of discourse about that right now. So just a quick little intro. Hi, I'm Chrysalis and
hi, I'm JC.
And we are officially STAYtalk.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
We're glad I have water for our STAYtalk.
I've got a protein shake, so I'm just doing great.
There you go. Vinny would be proud.
Vinny and Chris and probably actually all of them.
Yeah,
all of them at this point would be probably. And Felix would just be happy I'm eating something. So and it's chocolate.
There you go.
But okay, off topic. We tangent a lot, by the way. If you haven't noticed yet, we tangent a lot. That's just the way it works. Again, I think we all just kind of we share a brain cell. It happens.
Yeah.
But we were discussing parasocial relationships, and we had left off on the fact that obviously Chris has set some boundaries recently, and that's ruffled some feathers. And that is normal, by the way. Again, if you are, as we were kind of hitting on before, Chris has always been very accessible and very open. And very, if you need me, I'm here.
Yep.
Like that was the whole point of Chan's room is if you need me, I am here. If I'm not live, that when you need me, watch the old ones and I am here. Like this is
right.
This is for you. This is what this is about. This, I mean, it was as much for him as it was for Stay, but I'm here. So when somebody who is that open, whether you want to consider it persona or not, when someone is that open and all of a sudden they tap the brakes in some way, shape, or form, people are going to freak out. That is natural reaction. That is natural reaction. So I'm not going to fault anybody for being like, oh my God. But then now Chris in particular, and I hate doing this because I know he doesn't want all of like every single thing that he says to be overanalyzed and whatnot either. So it's kind of a fine line, but this is the easiest example that we can use at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't share like there are I forgot who there was a recent post that someone else made. I can't remember what her name was, but she made a wonderfully excellent post about the fact that, you know, yes, there's stuff that they say that doesn't mean anything. It's just them being guys. Them being guys and just, you know, being guys and they're just shooting the shit essentially. And it doesn't mean anything. It is surface level, superficial, whatever you want to call it. Then there's stuff that they say that does mean something. And there's, you know, there's an obvious, like, I'm putting the brakes on. You know, when Chris says, don't come up to me with your phone in my face, that's obvious. Like that's obvious. And then, then there's these subtle things that are given as clues because we can't completely say what we want to say.
Like the song yesterday.
And using Fan as an example of a song wreck. Yeah. Now, he very well, and I said it yesterday myself, he very well may have posted that song just because he was listening to that song and it's a damn good song.
Yeah, that's good.
It could mean absolutely nothing other than just it's a good song.
The lyrics, and then you see the teaser.
But even with the lyrics, he could very well have just been listening to the song and been like, hey, this is a damn good song.
I agree. And if you look in the translation, he says epic high seniors, meaning that's senior to Stray Kids, which I understood.
Yeah, there's some banging to him. They're like, you know, that's he's promoting another group that he is close to.
But like
I said,
like I said in a post yesterday, and I even made a TikTok about it. Mm-hmm. Being that my background was theorizing and being a theory writer for David Lynch films and shows, including Twin Peaks, I always it's like don't look at the whole donut, don't look at the whole kind of thing. Like that was his whole David Lynch's thing, that there was there's symbolism in everything that everybody does, even if it's not face value. And there's like an innately, and he found in the most mundane things, the most interesting things and the hidden things. It's like there's always a hidden thing. So for me, it's like if I look at that and I looked at the lyrics and I saw the lyrics and then I saw the teaser for BLEEP and the lyrics for some of the lyrics in BLEEP, and I was like, oh, I don't think this is a clapback song to the haters at all. I think this is a song going kind of full force into saying this is their fan. This is Stray Kids fan, so to speak.
I'm not necessarily sure that BLEEP is their version of fan. I do think BLEEP is their this version of cheese. This version of cheese. This version of cheese. This version that like
the only reason I'll give you a for instance of why I say what I'm saying, because there's two terms in there that really stuck out to me: lazy and frail. Because when Felix had gotten into his accident at the fan and he wasn't on the third day, there was a couple of things that came out online about him being frail and not being able to continue, and he shouldn't push it, and fans coming out and having all these opinions about his back injury and everything else, and they called him frail. So that was number one. Number two, the lazy thing, because about how they're just sitting back on their laurels, even though they're getting this popularity and they're not being forthcoming.
Who the heck?
Which nobody can say that about any of them. The fact that that was even said or mentioned, like people, this is why I said X. I'm sorry. I have many good friends who are still on Twitter, but X is a cesspool.
Yeah. No,
All I see on X is arguments. Every time I'm on there, it's like an argument against another fandom, against this, against that. And the parasocial line on X, that's why I'm saying, Christopher, come to Threads. There may be some
all of you come to, you already have Instas. You already have Instas. Come to Threads.
There may be feralness, but at least it's done from a place of love and appreciation. It's
and you will laugh.
Yes. And half the time you will laugh. I laugh at most
98% of the time. Now, granted, there are some lines that have been crossed on Threads because it is humanity and that happens, but not nearly to the extent as it is on Twitter. And 98% of the time, even if we push or cross that line, you're going to laugh your ass off doing it.
Yeah.
But that's regardless. But so you're right. And we're not going to know officially until the rest of the lyrics come out and we actually see what the rest of the lyrics are. But my thought process when he made the song Wreck, and we talked about this a little bit prior to coming back on, is that if for some reason you got tweaked or in some way, shape, or form when he did that, then that is your cue to get some introspection and figure out where your own parasocial line exists and whether you have crossed it.
Exactly.
I know for a fact I am feral as hell. I am proud of it. It's again, I am 48 years old. I am not dead. And I will say that regardless of what age I am until I die. But I also know that I am I also know where my line is. I know my place. I know my lane. I know my role.
Right.
I know when to shut my mouth.
I don't know. You said I know your role, and I just thought of The Rock saying, "Know your role." I'm sorry.
That's where the shut your mouth came followed up with that, because that's immediately where my brain went to. Because yes, but like that's and you're probably going to understand this because I don't know if you've seen me to refer to it as this. The entertainment industry as a whole, but especially because of the nature of parasocial relationships, which have always existed going back to like Elvis.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's just internet and social media have expanded it considerably. The entertainment industry is a game. And you need to know how to play the game. Mm-hmm. Which is also another wrestling reference, but you need to know how to play the game.
You know how to play the game? Sorry.
And it's 100%. That's what it is. You have artists who in some way, shape, or form need to create their art.
Yeah.
And granted, there are some performers, whether they're singers, whether they're musicians, whether they're actors, that get into it purely because of the fame aspect of it. You have those that are fame seeking, that need the attention, that are narcissistic, that's the only reason why they're doing it. And they have just enough talent to pull it off. We all know who those people are, regardless of what niche of the entertainment industry you're talking about.
Yep.
But overall, for the most part, in my opinion, 85% of the people that get into the entertainment industry as a performer, I'm not talking about back of the house, I'm not talking about producers, I'm not talking about directors, I'm not talking about agents or any of that.
Yep.
The performers, regardless of what medium, are artists who simply want to create their art. And we do not have the structure anymore like they did back in, say, the Renaissance, where somebody as an artist would get a patron, and that patron would pay them to just do their job, to just create art.
Right.
That doesn't exist anymore. What that is now is the entertainment industry.
Yep.
We are the patrons.
Yeah.
And we are paying those artists to create their art. And what has come along with that has been the parasocial aspect of, and granted, the parasocial aspect even existed back in the Renaissance time period, because you had those artists in the Renaissance time period that were so unbelievably sought after and sought out that you had people doing crazy, insane stuff,
right,
to get their attention, in some way, shape, or form. But then you add in the birth of the internet, and now you have this aspect of, we have information readily available at our fingertips every single second of the day, literally in our pockets now, or even on our wrists, and like literally Dick Tracy. And, we can, that's why I got this thing, because it was a whole, I'm like, I could be Dick Tracy now.
I know.
But you have that aspect of it. And then the K-pop industry develops. And they realize that, wait a minute, we can take this, expand on it, and use it as a way to generate more interest and generate more accessibility. And on one hand, it's great. And on one hand, there are positive aspects of it. I do not know any other industry, and K-pop all entertainment has its problems.
Yep.
Always has. But Jackson Wang actually recently mentioned this in a recent interview as well, where it's like, there is no other industry, even within the music industry, where an artist has as much access to their fandom as the K-pop industry. And that there are benefits to that. There are, for them, there are, whether it's feeding ego.
Jackson started an Instagram group, you subscribe to the channel, and it's like the Jackson Wang's GG group or whatever it is. And I subscribe because I love Jackson. And it's him. I mean, it's him saying, landed in Tokyo, going to the gym and then going to eat or whatever.
His own little version of Bubble.
Exactly. DPR Ian, when he was active. And I understand Ian has, dissociative personality disorder. Yeah. So sometimes he'll be on and sometimes he won't. But when he was on, he would be, talking or sending videos or things. And he loved that because he got the interaction that he wanted, or he would talk about music and people would be asking him and like, can you play this or can you do this? And he got that energy and whatever and used it. So it's very well, especially, and it started from K-pop. I mean, Ian started in K-pop, Jackson started in K-pop, and they got away from it. And I understand why for them. But at the same time, if you can find a group, and that's why I think I stand Stray Kids the way I do, Chan understands the business. The guys are now understanding 7 years in the business. So I think with them being together as a cohesive group and standing on their own 2 feet together, they're stronger. They can make better decisions. They can push back a little bit more now with the contract negotiations. So they can do things a little bit different. And I think that's why you're seeing Chan setting those boundaries. You're seeing him say what he needs. You're seeing the other guys kind of do, similar things. And then you
Yeah,
have Felix that comes on and gushes, and I wake up and see the most beautiful messages ever on Bubble.
Yeah.
That man's heart. You could say what you want of being a persona. I'm sorry. Felix is the real deal as far as I'm concerned. Anybody who ever meets him, these companies that meet him and stuff, they say the same thing. When you have a bunch of people saying the same thing about yourself, that's who you are.
In different industries. In different industries.
Not even in the music industry. You have it in the fashion industry. You have it in the thing. There's a reason he's chosen for these 8 ambassadorships, like we talked about the other day.
And counting, probably.
You know what I mean? Like he's easy to be approached. I hate to say non-threatening, because I think if he wanted to threaten you, he could. But I'm saying he's got this personality and this demeanor and this thing. People want to work with him. People want to work with all of them. I mean, I don't mean to take him out specifically. It's just he seems to...
I also relate it to, and you I'm sure will understand this as well. I look at how children interact with anybody. Because there have been plenty of people that I have known personally that were very resting bitch face type people. Most people were either intimidated by them, or they felt in some way, shape, or form that they were just, this person's not very social. This person is just, as an adult, they're like, I don't know. But then I watch those people interact with kids, and I watch kids run up to them, and I know immediately, I know. Yeah, exact. Perfect example. Absolute perfect example.
Yep.
Because when you are like Lino, and you are very not introverted, but not introvert, like,
right. I know
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I'm hoping everybody out there knows what I'm saying by using him as an example. But you will watch kids willingly and happily go up to him, and anytime he's look at how he is with his cat. And cats are a whole thing on consent anyway, so that is a whole green flag to begin with. But dude, I saw that meme, and if that meme wasn't the most accurate thing I have ever seen in my life about the fact that cats are a whole lesson on consent. Yes. True. But how they interact with kids is important. When you watch, and everybody, I know people blew up with when they did the whole UNICEF video with Felix going to Laos with his mom.
Yeah.
That it was all a publicity stunt. Yeah. You know what? Yes. Hold on. Yes. To a degree, it was a publicity stunt. It was promotion for UNICEF, which is an organization that focuses on child welfare. Yeah. So yeah, it was a promotion for that. But he didn't have to do that. Number one, he didn't have to do that. Number one. Number two, his mom went with him. So that says something right there.
It's not like he wasn't forced to do that.
No, but then when you watch him with those children, and how natural it was, and how those kids respond, not how he necessarily was with the kids, how the kids responded to him.
Everybody, all the people, even the mothers that were holding the baby when he's feeding it and stuff. I mean, it's just, you could see the care that they're seeing on him, that he's showing to them, and the respect. The same way they're cute little, Stray Kids videos, but the one of Chan and Felix, and then there's the one of Ian, Hyunjin, and Felix with Rawoon the baby, and the two little girl twins.
And the twins, yeah.
I mean,
and I've watched the 80s ones of those, and those guys are great with the kids too, but there's Young is amazing with kids. I'm sorry, he's one of those where it's like you would look at him and be like, wait, what? But then you see him with kids, and it's like, but there's a level of warmth that immediately, like, because even the other guys I've seen in some of these with the twins and whatnot, I've seen some of those videos, and it's heartwarming, and it's lovely, and it's funny, and whatnot. And you could tell the guys that are comfortable with kids and the guys that are comfortable aren't comfortable with kids.
Right.
Every single one of them is comfortable. Yeah. Every single one of them is comfortable with kids.
The little girl that they had the interview, the dad brought her backstage. Did you see? It was recently when they were I think it was when they were in London.
If your microphone was a banana, what would you do?
Yes. And they were Lino was the cutest though. If you saw when they panned to him and his face, it was the sweetest. And then when she took a picture and she stood between Lino and Felix, and I'm just like, this is so cute. But it's just, they're all like, I'm sorry, they're all green flags. I mean, people could say, you got the wool over your eyes or whatever. Come on, guys. Like, you know what? I mean, like I said, there's a an authenticity regardless of an idol persona.
Yeah.
Okay, we know Chan's got the wolf
be.
Chan and whatever else. We know that, you know, the Wacky is wacky. We know that, you know, Han Polka's got we get all that. But there's got to be, I think that's why they have the fandom and the base that they do, because there is an authenticity to who they are as a person that shows through in their idol persona, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then that also blurs the line of that parasocial relationship.
Right. And it does to a
because
point.
You get
like
that,
yes, because I mean, even like the voice messages and stuff, like when I first got Bubble, I think I said this in the intro. I got Chan, Sungmin, and Felix. And
this is new.
Oh, okay. So and Minnie, I call Sungmin Minnie. Minnie usually texts every day. Have a nice day. Have a nice. Did you eat? Like all very, you know, cute stuff.
Yeah.
Felix would be the love bomber, where he would come on and he would like, and then there would be pictures galore, and then he'd be like, miss you guys, and da da da. And then
Chan his cloud storage.
Yes. And then Chan would come on and ask Channy questions like he does, you know, like his interesting, like, you know, like he does on Fans, the
cereal
riddles and stuff. And then he would say, here's Song Rec, or here's whatever. And then I got the rest of the guys. And do I like having that? Yeah. Like I look at your photo and be like, oh, Lino texted, you know what, or whatever, or however you want to describe it. And it's sweet and it's kind and it's funny, but I can understand where somebody would take that as, I see it twofold. I see where somebody would take that over the edge and make it their whole personality.
Yeah.
And I also see it as, if somebody is truly feels alone and they have that little bit of interaction, it makes them feel a little more human. So there's that fine line of relying on it for your happiness, or for you to make your whole personality, your whole thing around it, which we've seen on Threads. Yeah. With certain things that either
there are certain
both pass or block depending on how you feel.
Yes.
But then you have the people that use it to their advantage, and it just gives them a little snapshot and a little happiness or a little whatever for the day. And that's how I look at it. Like, it just makes me smile. I woke up to Felix's message this morning, and it's like, hey, thanks, buddy. Like,
you needed that this morning.
You know, I send you love and, you know, prayers all the time. Like, whatever. It's what it is, you know?
No, that's that. Like, I will fully. I mean, I joke all the time that Stray Kids has become my personality. It has. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's a bad thing, but it's just,
but there.
You know,
I know how to play, but I know how to play the game.
The only thing.
Yeah, I know how to play the game. It's that aspect of I know where the line is, and it's gonna mean there's. I'm going to use this as an example because my youngest went on a school trip to a theme park here in Florida, because that is a common thing at the end. The common thing at the end of the year for school trips. Yeah. And I was going as a chaperone, so of course they were going to be with me. And I was specifically asked before we even got on the bus to please not embarrass them. And this is the first time in my life that my child has had this request for me. They're a teenager now, younger teenager, but they're a teenager now. And I'm like, how in the world do you think I'm going to embarrass you? Because it's not something I've ever done before. Like, so where is this coming from? Right. And their response was, I don't need 10 million Stray Kids references while we're walking around, please. And I'm like, oh, you're getting the ice cream one. Sorry, you're getting the ice cream one. I am yelling ice cream at some point in time in the middle of this. But it was it was kind of at that moment too that I kind of realized, okay, maybe, because when we're at home, like, something will be said and it will just be like, there was something about chicken the other day and I'm just randomly like, chicken has meat in it. Like, it becomes so much a part of your vernacular.
Life is banana.
Life is banana. That one hasn't entered in yet, but
I was eating a banana the other day and I just thought to myself, I just chuckled because I'm like, I remember what he said, and then I'm just like, this is so funny. But it's like sort of, it's kind of true. I'm not gonna lie, it's like it's a nice little mantra. Life is banana.
No, but we all know those one-liners that we all and we all use them. Like, we all, like, I've started the nah thing. That's that all of us. Now, granted, I used that back when I was in like high school. So it's just, for me, it's just coming back around to the whatever. I mean, skirt has now become, between me and my child, that has now become a thing. The 143 in text messages has become a thing. Like there's that aspect of it, I think, is a normal aspect of it becoming your personality.
Yeah.
And you know, and
mad, bruh? Like I use that all the time. Like
bruh. So there's that aspect of it, but you use there in order to navigate this properly, you need to know how to play that game. You need to recognize that it is a game, that there are guardrails, there are certain things that are okay, certain things that are not. Yes, it is completely okay to go feral. That has always happened. We can get into the ageism aspect on a different episode at some point.
Be a longer conversation, because that goes back to, that's why when I do dislike when.
Hold on, you froze.
Younger say, and I will say people under the age of the boys. So I'll say under the age of 24.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
That young, their youngest demographic at this point.
Under the age of, yes, I will say under that age where they're like, guys, like you forget that most of the older, like when the metal bands came out and 80s hair bands and everything else, there was that fine line between of where, you know, there was a line that was more crossed in a regular sense. I'm not saying that it was the best thing in the world. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying there was a difference than there is with it now. So when we kind of explore that or show that, because especially it's done on social media, it's not done, you know, out in the open. It's you're not with your buddies, like, you know, kind of.
I mean, did I cross the line with one of the signs I took to the concerts? Probably, but do I regret it? I'm actually kind of glad that, like, if they saw it, they didn't pay any attention. They didn't make any recognition of having seen it. So I will take that as okay, I did good. You know, but that's. Like, I'm at a concert.
I love you in all different languages, and I did the hand heart when Hunjin came to the end, and he did the other hand heart, and I'm taking that to the grave. I'm saying that he saw it regardless, because it was in my general direction, and nobody else was holding up a hand heart at the time.
I'm not going to say I will tell you what my sign was offline for one of the concerts. My second sign was I drew a little wolf Chan, and I said, you know, Chan, what do I need to do to see the dimples?
That's cute.
I was trying to get the whole like, but you know, because I'm one of those people that would have jumped the barricade, as per previous conversation, if that had ever happened. But
right.
But you know, but again, there's that aspect of you need to recognize that it is a game first and foremost. Number one, number one, and there are plenty of us out here who will gladly and happily let you know whether or not that's, you know, whether that's okay for the most part. And to be completely honest, and this is something I know you know, I say this every single day online, we are only responsible for our own actions and reactions personally. Now we are part of a community, that community being the fandom. And Chris has said himself, what we do as a fandom reflects on them.
Right.
Which is why he said, you know, if you feel the need to protect us, he understands, but there's defending them and then demeaning others to do it.
Right. Or attacking others to do it, which I have two Hey Stays. One of my biggest paid attention one was talking about Stay versus Army. Because that was when I first came into the fandom, that was the one thing I saw. It was a constant comparison. It was always the three. It was Blackpink, BTS, and Stray Kids. And it was pitting the three of them against each other. And I'm like, why?
There's no need. They're three completely different groups.
One's third gen, one's fourth gen. Different generations, guys. And two, what does it matter? There's a lot of Stay Army. There's a lot that love both. There's people that love K-pop in general and love them all. There's enough room in the sandbox, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to tell you. Like, okay, yeah, you're talking about money and you're talking about this one, the album does better and whatever. But when it comes down to it, it's all good for K-pop.
Yep. There's that aspect.
One against each other, you know?
But you're also, at that point, you're also literally talking about three completely different groups with three completely different yes, it's all music, but it's three completely different focuses.
And they supported each other even through. I mean, like the best video that I love is when Stray Kids was first. I think it was they were first debuting, and they redid Big Bang's Bang Bang Bang.
Yeah.
And you see Jimin, RM, and I think it's Jin or something dancing like, because they were in the audience and they're like enjoying it. And it's like, see, guys, like, it's not this big bad, like they're sitting there, they're, you know what I mean? It's like, calm down.
Exactly. And like, and okay, no offense, but one of Stray Kids' biggest well-known things is God's do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Lisa is good friends with Chan because of Bam Bam.
Everybody's good friends with Chan.
Well, because she's been around long enough. Yes. And if you were around long enough, you'd be friends with Chan too. No, you know what I mean. But, and also Jenny, I mean, at the Met Gala, and they all chatted and took pictures and stuff. Like, come on, guys. Rose.
Yeah. Well, Rose and Felix are freaking twins. Like, but anyway, but when it comes to root back around to the parasocial aspect of things, it is a blessing and a curse, and it gets crossed, understandably so, because again, we are human. People are going through a bunch of different things. Right. But any idol, because other idols have touched on this subject before themselves. You mentioned it before. The one of the members of the Rose have touched on it. I know Bam Bam's touched on it. I know Jackson's touched on it. Yeah. There have been quite a few different idols that have touched on that, crossing that line. And if any whether it's an idol or whether it's even just a person in your every day-to-day life, if somebody comes at you and says, or comes to you and says, hey, look, this is not okay. I am not okay with this.
Right.
Then you respect that.
Right.
Full stop. End of story.
Yep.
Now, if an idol kind of...
Sorry, I have two little wrens outside my window that are squealing. So if you can hear that, guys, I'm sorry.
But if an idol comes out and I don't want to say subversively, but subtly puts forth something that makes you stop in your tracks and go, what do they mean by this?
Yeah.
First of all, think about what they might mean by it, number one. Yeah. And that might not be anything. It might very well, they might not have meant a damn thing by it alone, because we all know at the same time, the double-edged sword to that is a lot of the reason why Chan in particular has taken a backseat on a lot of things is because everything gets overanalyzed. Mm-hmm. And and Chan, if you watch this, that is not what we're trying to do here. We are trying to simply use your stuff as an examples overall for just how to proceed.
To agree with you and tell people to knock it off.
So there's that aspect of it, but I can understand why somebody like him would pull back and be like, nope. Mm-hmm. I can understand, like, and to follow that on, when you start getting into the arguments about, well, so-and-so Felix has 8 ambassadorships while Lino only has 1.
That's a choice, guys.
If you pay attention to Lino, that's a choice.
Mm-hmm. The same reason people feel bad for Chanbin. And I said, and then I watched the 2 kids' rooms with Chanbin and Felix. And he says, I envy the fact of how you could keep up and not be so exhausted with everything you have going on. That to me said, if Chanbin was approached, maybe he'd consider it. But right now, I don't think he wants that. He wants to do the music. He wants to be Chris's right
enough on his plate
with writing the music and doing the production and the 3 Racha and everything else. That maybe he doesn't want, because they are all ambassadors for Tommy Hilfiger. They have that. They have Biore, and they have
Biore,
all together. There's another thing that's all together, isn't there? There's Biore, or something.
Hilfiger, and
Pacific is no more. I don't think the makeup.
No, but
Pepero.
Oh yeah.
So
I need to go buy more. But
Jenny's bringing my back from Korea, and it's got a Felix on it.
Shush. I'm waiting for my market down here to hopefully get the actual boxes in. But it's an aspect of it's not brain surgery, guys. It's not that deep.
Right.
It really isn't that deep. It's just simply,
no matter how much I theorize on things, it's not that deep.
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah. And but it all comes back to just recognizing the fact that at the end of the day, as a community, as a fandom and as a community, we are a reflection on each other. Now, again, parasocially, because parasocial isn't just us to them and them to us. It's us to each other.
Right.
As a fandom, because 90% of the people that I consider friends online now are not somebody I have ever met in real life. You and I have not actually been able to meet face to face. So it's, so there's that, there is a parasocial aspect with that as well that people don't tend to recognize. Does that mean we gatekeep everybody else? No. And I see, and that happens a lot online too. We've been seeing it quite frequently with the I like to call them growing pains. As more people come in, more people have to kind of learn the guardrails and what is and isn't okay. And they might very well be coming in from other communities and other fandoms where that behavior is perfectly acceptable.
Right.
But it's not here for X, Y, and Z reason.
Right.
And that doesn't mean you start attacking somebody because they don't know the game. You don't attack somebody because they don't know the rules. This is a whole new flipping. How many people have we had come on to Threads just alone, like literally just within the last week and a half that I can think of, that they're like, what's a bias? I did the same thing. As soon as I started getting into Stray Kids, I reached out to said friend who got me into them in the first place. And I'm like, explain this. What does this mean? What does that mean? What's Eggyo? What the hell? What?
Yeah, there's a lot of book babes, as I'll call them, book readers, really readers that have fallen down the rabbit hole. I have a feeling because of what they're reading, and they fall down the rabbit hole, and they find most of them find Felix, which is I just love that. I'm sorry, that just more. That they find this ethereal, beautiful face with this demon voice, and they're like, who is that? And where can I get more? And then we're like, welcome, come join us. There's also 7 others. It's such a I almost it's like I want to find an animator, maybe Joy Sun or somebody that would do the thing, you see a person just reading, and then somehow they're scrolling through their phone and they find God's menu, right? And then they go and they're like, and then all of a sudden you see a door open and a hand come out and go, come here. And the door opens and all of a sudden it's all of Stay, the flowers that Joyce did, and be like, hey, you want to know what? And then unrolling
First
all
one's
the
free.
other guys and stuff. This is who we are. I think it would be the cutest.
I literally have an intro now that I have saved in my notes app for when I find somebody that's like, who is this? What's this person's name?
I saw you post it twice on Threads already. I thought it was perfect.
I have it copied and pasted. Welcome to Delulu. Feral. This is served on Feral Fridays. You've got We serve Felix's brownies because, come to the dark side. We have cookies, but we don't have cookies. We have Felix's brownies. Yes, exactly. And, just if you get that reference, you get that reference, and I love you for it. This aspect. And by all means, ask questions. This is the only fandom
that I've seen. Yep.
That I have seen in my lifetime. And I'm not just necessarily talking Stray Kids. I'm talking K-pop as a whole, but in particular, Stray.
I know what you meant.
In particular, Stay, but and just K-pop as it is. I've noticed that it happens with the other K-pop fandoms as well, but especially with ours, where there is it is unbelievably welcoming. And it is, by all means, come join us. Yep. And it's come join us until you F up. And if you F up,
we'll give you one chance.
We'll gently try to guide you in the right direction. And if you're just resistant to that gentle guidance, well, now sorry. Unless your behavior is so unbecoming. Well, because there are a few of them out there. We have seen them. Mm-hmm. And they've either crossed. They've either crossed that parasocial line, or they've just been outright. What the hell is going on in your head?
Through the door and ran down the street.
Because some of the ones I've seen have been like. Now, do I block those people personally? I advocate I advocate highly for cultivating your care and cultivating your algorithm, because Threads is great for that, by the way. If you were not aware, Threads is amazing for actually following your algorithm, and it's easy to reset your algorithm if it gets screwed up. And we will gladly help you.
Sudden, yep, you did.
We will gladly help you.
Gaga, a bunch of my moots were like there for me. I said, I'm on the wrong side. How do I get back to the right side? And it was pictures of the guys and funny memes and videos, and all of a sudden it was like.
But it's that aspect of we will gladly and helpfully take you by your hand and show you the ropes.
Yep.
Unequivocal. We don't care who you are. We don't care where you're from.
Right.
Like, that is literally a directive from Daddy Chan. You don't care who you are. Don't care where you're from. Don't care what you identify as. Don't care how old you are. Don't care what country. Don't care what religion. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You are Stay.
We're all one Stay.
And we will treat you as Stay until you do something to otherwise cause a problem, like an actual problem. And we can have disagreements, folks. This is eventually we are hoping.
Of course, I know that doesn't happen too often anymore, but it does exist. And I'm sure it will happen on this platform one way or another, sooner or later, when we get other people, because we would love other people to join us. I'm going to segue to that so we can.
Thank you, because I was just about to. So yes, we would absolutely, even if you have differing opinions, we want to hear the differing opinions, so long as they are presented in a way that's respectful and civil, because we will give back. We will give back what we get.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's that aspect of things, but it's a matter of, there's so much, but just learn. If you don't know how to play the game, come find us. We'll show you.
Yes.
Happily.
Exactly. We will hold your hand. We will lead you through. We will get through this together. All right. I think we did good on that one. So let's wrap that up, and we will be back. We're going to record some more next week. We're going to record them and have them in the hopper, so we can, and hopefully eventually Valkyrie will be able to join us, and a few other
people. We talked to some other people and see. I've got a couple of ideas. So,
So I think we should do a big round table with a bunch of us and pick topics and all get 2 minutes to talk about it. I think that would be a pretty cool format.
So I just froze on your face, JC. Oh my goodness. Hopefully she gets what happened. Hello. Well, in case JC doesn't get back on, because it looks like she's frozen completely, and I don't know what exactly happened there. Again, we thank you for joining us. If you joined us here, we would gladly appreciate any sort of you joining the conversation, and if nothing else, giving us ideas on things you would like us to ramble on and talk about. We do hope to see you next week. We will be posting when the next session will be. And until then, have a wonderful afternoon. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you all soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye.